It is open toes and white pants season, thank goodness. My name is Rachel Mooney with the Mooney Group.
And I'm Beth with the Mooney Group.
And what's been going on in the real estate market over the last 30 days? Well, we've got some great data for you, and as a matter of fact, this video might go a little longer than normal because we're going to break down just a few questions that we're getting about the real estate market, and we want to make sure that you guys are equipped with all the right answers. So, in the last 30 days of Forsyth County, we actually put 196 homes on the market for sale. We put 305 homes under contract, and we closed 321 of those homes over the last 30 days. Now, our average list of sales price, that went up. It was 105%, and our average sales price was $627,000 for Forsyth County. Now, this was for a 3,100 square foot home, and the average days on market were 15 over the last 30 days.
Wow.
So what about Gwinnett?
So we have really picked up speed in Gwinnett as well. We listed 468 homes. In the last 30 days, we put 189 under contract. We sold 850 with an average days on market of 18, and our list to sales price ratio was at 103%.
Wow.
The average sales price is still creeping up. We're up to about $475,000 for an average sales price here in Gwinnett.
Wow. And that's high for Gwinnett.
It is very high, very high. Pre-pandemic, I think we were below 350. So.
Yeah, that is really high. So West Forsyth, the same thing. We put 35 homes on the market. We put under contract 58 of those homes, and we closed 62 homes in the last 30 days over there. Our sellers over there got 104% of their list to sales price, an average sales price of $652,000, and average days on market were 15 over there. One statistic that I saw, which I thought was really cool, is the average home price across the United States was $511,000. That is crazy to hear that. And really for affordability, that is kind of scary in its own self for first-time home buyers.
That's right.
We're not going to talk much about that though today. We're going to talk about inflation because we keep hearing inflation this, inflation that, and how is inflation affecting the real estate market?
Right.
So let's just talk a little bit about that just for people. I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about rates and all kinds of stuff. So right now we are obviously experiencing some inflation here in the United States. We're seeing that in our gas prices. We're seeing that in our wages. We're seeing that at the grocery store, and anything that we're buying, right? We're looking at it going, ooh, it's a little high, and it's affecting some people more than it's affecting other people.
That's right.
So we know in the real estate market, inflation has a little bit of effect, and one of those is with the rising interest rates. We've talked a little bit about that happening this year, and we're seeing that happen. And so right now they're about what? What is the average interest rate right now?
We're right at 5%, maybe a little bit over the last quote that I received for a client.
Okay, so that's still though historically really, really low.
That's right. And just to put that in perspective, we're just now getting back to the point where we were pre-pandemic. We were right at 5%. But you know, you sort of forget that with all the things happening in the world. So we've just now reached that point.
Mm-hmm. Tell them, and I think we all like examples. So explain to them if they were buying a $400,000 house with that rate, what is that looking like right now, and how that can change?
Sure. So one of the questions I get a lot is, you know, is the housing market going to crash? Maybe I should just wait to buy once the price comes down. So to put that into perspective, a $400,000 home with a 10% down payment right now at 5%, and this is napkin math, folks, is about $2,100 per month for that mortgage payment. Now, I can tell you that is much lower than the rental for some of those investment homes at that same price point. Now, if the price were to drop, we're going to use a big number here. If the market were to drop 30% and that $400,000 home becomes $280,000, your payment at 7.5% interest, and that could be a real interest rate in the future, is right at $2,000. So can you see how using, real numbers like that, even if the price were to come down drastically, and nobody is estimating it'd be that large, but even if it did, the interest rate would offset that savings unless you're a 100% cash buyer.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of that right now. A lot of cash in the marketplace.
That's right.
And this is probably a great segue as people are saying that interest rates rising it affects affordability, and so with affecting affordability, home prices have to go back down. We're not seeing that as a trend currently, because the trend that we're seeing now is people are paying $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 over asking price. They're waiving contingencies. Appraisal gaps, a lot of them are cash. Majority of our transactions are cash these days. And so with the rising interest rates, it's really only going to affect a certain group of people, say, not the full general public that some people are thinking. And we hear this all the time. People are like, I'm just going to wait and buy when the prices drop. We're not seeing that happen, and it's because we're so short on inventory. Remember, it's supply and demand. And we would have to build 5 million homes in order to catch up with the supply that's out there. So let's talk about new construction. With the pricing of goods going up and materials and labor, because our inventory is so low, we would have to build 5 million homes to just catch up with what the inventory is doing on that. So that's another thing that we're seeing with inflation. So again, the pricing not dropping, actually the pricing going up, and because the demand is still there, right? And then the third thing, I guess we've just kind of really hit on this, was the affordability for first-time home buyers and for people that are coming into the marketplace. And depending on what phase of life they're in, what kind of income they're in, that affordability could definitely change.
That's right. But we can customize a plan to help each family know what's going to be best for their individual family. So I think if I had a message for everybody today, it would just be, don't get caught up in the panic that we're all seeing in the headlines. Let's run some actual numbers for you and your family and help you decide what might be a good investment for you in this market right now.
Mm-hmm. And it's always critical to just remember it is all supply and demand. And when we have the demand like we're having, which is not stopping, right. The supply is so minimal, then the demand is driving up that price. And that's why we're seeing all of those crazy offers when a home hits the market and them going way over asking price and removing all these contingencies, is because that demand is there. So let's just answer the question, because we hear this again, I'm just going to wait till the market drops. Is that really something that they should be waiting on?
I would say no. If you have a need in the next 2 to 5 years, or for today, moving forward for the next 5 years, I would act now. So we don't know where the top of the interest rates will go, and we don't know how long it will stay there before it comes back down. So if you were, thinking of downsizing, you're going to be empty nesters, you want to retire, you want to move closer to family. Maybe you're still cramped and you're trying to ride it out in your current home and you need more space. Let us customize that plan for you and show you what your options are. We're here to consult with our clients and help them, know what their options are, and ultimately the clients can decide then what's in their best interest.
Exactly. Not everybody's situations are the same.
Yeah.
Not everybody's willing to make risks. Some are great risk takers, some are not. And so we're here to create a custom plan for you. The entire team are full-time realtors in this area, and we have multiple options. So if you're thinking about selling, but you're not quite sure, you're wanting to wait until the bottom falls out to buy a home, and you're going into a rental, and you've got all these ideas in your mind, and you're hearing this stuff online, sit with us and let us tell you the true actual facts of what's going on in your area and help you make an educated decision. So many people are making decisions on emotion, and we know when you make a decision on emotion, it's probably not the right decision.
That's right.
So we want to make sure that you are educated and knowing exactly what's going on. So I think it's just a quick synopsis of this particular video today is inflation is real. It does have a slight impact on the real estate market, but not quite on what people are expecting that to be. And it's always a great time to buy or sell real estate. So we hope that you find this information helpful, and then we look forward to seeing you in the next 30 days.